Welcome to Pour the Wine. It's Rom-Com Time, where we'll sip some wine and review all things rom-com on the Hallmark Channel. I'm Amy.
And I'm Garry, and I'm pouring.
It's time to pour the wine.
Yes, it
pour
is.
the cab into the glasses so I can have a sip.
Yes, a sip.
It's been a long day.
Yes, it has. But we're through it.
We're through it, almost.
Yes, we are.
All right. Today, we're going to be recapping and reviewing the third episode of season 2 of The Chicken Sisters, Daddy's Home, Y'all. It aired on the Hallmark Channel on Sunday, August 24th, 2025, and is streaming right now on Hallmark Plus.
Yes, it is. And we would love it if you would click that follow button on your favorite podcast platform so you don't miss an episode. If you listen on Apple or Spotify, you can also leave us a review, and hopefully it's a positive review. Yes.
Yes.
You can
There was that pause, like, yes,
Yes.
It's a positive review, hopefully.
You can also find us on YouTube and all the social media platforms.
Or you can send us an email to pourthewine@romcomtime@gmail.com and let us know what you think about this season of The Chicken Sisters, or maybe the first season of The Chicken Sisters, or anything Hallmarky related.
We are here for it.
We are here for all of it, and we're about to get ready to go into the holiday season.
Ooh, I can't
It's
wait.
exciting. Yeah, we've turned the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Cooler weather, a little bit.
We're about to be busy.
We're about to be busy. Yes.
So tell us who's in this one.
Well, I don't think we had any new faces in this one, but if you would like to hear more in-depth information about the actors who are in The Chicken Sisters, we do a deeper dive at the beginning of episode 1 and the beginning of episode 2 of season 2 and season 1. If you want to go back and listen, we did at the top of a lot of the episodes as new faces appeared. So,
All right.
yeah. So I think we're good as far as that goes.
Well, let's get to who directed
All
this
right, let's
particular
talk about it.
episode, and that was Norman Buckley. This is his directorial debut
Debut.
for Hallmark. He directs this episode and the next one. Oh, that's interesting, right?
So episode 3 and episode 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of his other director credits include 18...
Director. I like the way you say Director.
includes 18 episodes of Sweet Magnolias, which we love.
Yes, that is a great series.
Yes, it
I do
is.
like that.
2 episodes of NCIS Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
We never watched that.
Nope.
An episode of Once Upon a Time, which
We did watch
love
that. Yeah, we love that.
And 12 episodes of Gossip Girl.
There you go.
Never heard of that one. I've heard of it, but I've never watched it.
Yeah, I don't think we watched. Yeah.
And it was written by Addison Clark, which tried to find some information about him on...
Or her.
Or her.
Addison could be a girl's name.
That's true.
We're not sure.
On social media, and I couldn't find anything, so I apologize.
Or if you know anything, let us know. Yeah, we
shoot
did
us an
try
email.
We did try to do a little digging, right, on IMDb, and it was a little difficult to find. But if we do find it, we will talk about it at the beginning of our review of episode number 4.
Yes, we will.
Sound good?
Yes.
We don't want to.
I
We don't want
think
to cheat
should.
somebody out of their
their
due, but
credits.
out of their credits. But we just couldn't. That was a hard one to find. So
Yeah, it was. It was.
Yeah.
So is it time to drop the synopsis?
it's time to drop the synopsis.
Okay.
May's dad, Clayton, is back in Merinac and back in Gus's life. Amanda tries to start fresh by going out on a practice date, but is she ready?
Ding, ding, ding.
I guess we're going to find out.
A practice date. Is that what we
A
call that
practice
now?
date. Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
You're good enough to go out with, but not good enough to be with. You
Getting
know what I
back on
mean?
the bike, trying to ride the bike again, I guess. I don't know.
Well, it's okay. Hey,
Yeah, that's
you gotta
right.
do it. You got to do it. So what do you think?
Well, I think that I thought it was a good episode. I didn't think it was a great episode. I
Right.
thought it was an episode that was definitely, we always say there are kind of episodes that are just sort of a means to an end to get to the next episode.
A
So
filler?
we got a lot of information.
Yeah.
A lot of,
I
you
agree.
do kind of learn more about Gus and Clayton, and we do find out some more about Nancy and the pastor, and we're diving into May. So there was information, and I thought it was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Was it my favorite episode so far? No, probably not.
Mhm.
But I thought it was pretty good. What about you?
I agree. I thought a lot of the past came forward
Yes.
with Gus, with Nancy.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. I did like how they did that. I also liked the relationship with Kenzie or Lindsay.
Kenzie, you're just making up names now. Or is that her?
Frankie.
Is that the actress's name?
Yeah. I like how that's starting to develop because you're not sure if they like each other or what's going on.
No, what's that actress's name? Do you have her name?
Lindsay?
Lindsay's.
Yes, it's Kelsey.
It's Kelsey. So you kind of combined her actual name and her.
I do that all the time.
I thought it was Kelsey. I wasn't sure it was Kenzie, but okay. I just want to make sure. So that actress's name is Kelsey
Moema.
Okay, and then she plays Lindsay. Okay,
and I do that all the time. I'll take the first letter of
one name and put it with another one.
Yes,
I just wanted to make sure we cleared that up for poor.
Or something. I don't know.
It's all right for poor Kelsey. All right.
Yeah, and I thought this one was more serious than the rest of even most of the episodes, even one and two, because I felt like it was just all like drama, serious.
Yes.
And Shauna, she only cracked a couple of jokes, and I'm like,
she was only in it briefly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
but that's all right.
I felt like this was a filler episode.
We're not going to, I wouldn't call it a filler episode. I would just say it was, sort of, like we said, a means to an end, where it's information that's necessary to get to the next,
right.
Point in the series. Mm-hmm. So I thought it was good. Like you said, it was more serious. We didn't have, the narrator had some wisecracks, but not really too many in this one. They were more serious.
Right.
The narration was this time. And I still love the narration in there, which we'll talk about. But yeah. All right. So do you want to get into it?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's dive.
All right. How are we going to do this? Take a sip. Enjoy. Sit back. Relax. Hopefully you've grabbed your favorite drink too.
Mm-hmm.
And are enjoying your favorite drink while you're listening to us.
Well, let's start at the beginning.
All right. So we see Gus with her mom when she was younger. You kind of see it briefly, and it's just her and her mom. And then her mom dies, and she's all alone until Clayton shows up at Mimi's, and they develop a romance, but he's a Franny's boy.
Right.
She's a Mimi's girl. So they can't really be seen out in public. And then we see he's getting in the car with his parents once she becomes pregnant, and he leaves. So they make him leave.
Right.
Because they don't want him to be committed, and he's going to be a superstar athlete, I presume.
Right.
Wherever
they don't
he's
want him
go,
to ruin his life.
So we kind of get that as the overview. And I think we forgot to mention the spoiler alert.
Oh, yes, we did. So spoiler alert. If you haven't seen
spoiler alert.
If you haven't seen this episode, hit pause, go watch the episode on TV, come back, hit play, and tell us what you think when it's done.
Yeah, perfect.
There's the spoiler alert.
Because we're going to talk about the episode, and we don't want to give anything away, but we will give something away.
Yes, we will.
So this is your fair warning.
Yeah.
Right?
So,
all right.
Sorry.
So should we talk about Gus first? Do you want to talk about Gus's evolution during this episode?
Yes, let's do that.
Okay.
Let's do that.
So I liked when the narrator said at the beginning, she's like, men might have broken Gus's heart, but her children mended it. So we see this like tough exterior, but deep down, her children really did help her get through that time, even though she's got this like wall.
Well,
right?
You can't blame her. The dude left her pregnant.
Well, that's true.
In the kitchen, pretty much.
That is true.
Barefoot.
So, and then we see, it kind of picks up at the end of the last one, right? Where she's in Mimi's with Clayton.
Yeah.
And I just love he calls her Gussie.
Gussie.
I love that he calls her Gussie, and he's smirking, and he still kind of gives her the flowers, and she's basically like, "You're here to see May, and
that's it.
We're
my ground rules.
Done. This is what you need
we're
to do.
We're gonna follow them."
Bye. And he's just kind of smirking, like, "Yeah, right," which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah, because it makes you think that This is where I was like, maybe there's a different story going on here from what we've been seeing in season 1. So I was really excited about seeing the rest of this transpire between these two.
Right. You mean because in terms of what the real story is.
Right. Because you don't see her like screaming and yelling at him. You know she's happy to see him because she's kind of got that little smile. And then when he hands that bouquet of yellow flowers,
but she's still hurt. Like
She's still hurt.
It's a lot of hurt that he left, and and you can kind of see that. So that is really good.
Yeah.
I mean, Wendy Malick is great. Oh my gosh,
gosh.
she's so good in this.
I love her. Love her.
So then you see, continuing on with Gus, she's, we see her back at home and she's living with Nancy, and Nancy finds out she's been hoarding again.
I know.
And she, it's confined to a closet.
Right.
And that's kind of what we talked about last season is, hoarding is, it's a serious thing.
Right.
It afflicts
disease.
a lot of people. And, there's things underneath of it, that reasons why they do it. And here you see Nancy is doing it as a coping mechanism because Clayton is back and she still has those feelings and she's trying to deal with that, but she's trying to do the right thing by having him there because May is getting married and it's really what May wanted. And she does love her children. And, so she's struggling with that, I don't know, the hurt. She still loves him and he's still handsome. He didn't grow up to be really ugly or anything, which might have helped a little bit.
And she's wondering why he never came back or tried to get in contact with her.
Yeah, she doesn't know.
Right.
All she knows is he just left.
Yeah.
And she never heard from him again. And I love how Nancy too kind of hears her out and she's like, what happened?
Right.
Because she knows something happened to trigger the hoarding again.
Yep.
So I did really love those moments between Nancy and Gus.
Yeah, they were really
in
good.
this. Yeah.
I really enjoyed those scenes because Nancy didn't understand why she was hoarding again. And she was like, oh my goodness. And there were some other underlying things that caused, I guess, Gus to fall back into that. But
mainly it's Clayton being in town.
Mainly
it's Clayton because she, Nancy's like, you were doing so good.
I know.
What happened? And I think it's cool too because you do see Gus's growth because she admits that she's a mess because Clayton is in town.
Right.
She admits that May's dad is here. And I love, Nancy gives her a hug, which I thought was kind of cool. And, Gus is so, kind of stiff and has that wall, but she wants it, so it's cool to see their relationship develop much to Gus's dismay. Right.
Right.
And go ahead.
Well, I was going to say that leads into her finding Nancy's photo book, which I thought was interesting.
Oh, in the closet. But that's is that when they start cleaning it out though?
Right. That's when they start cleaning it out.
So Nancy helps Gus clean out the closet and then
that's when it's kind of funny because they're pulling things out and there's a little story behind each one. But that's when she comes across the book and Gus is like, she's really, genuine about, oh, you're very pretty in these. And it's when Nancy is younger.
Yeah, and she's in like the pageants and stuff.
Right. And Nancy starts to talk about how she should have, could have, would have type things going on. And she had a trip, but she didn't get to go because, she got married to Frank Sr.
Yeah, did she not go because he didn't want her to go?
He didn't want her to go.
That's what okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she kind of mentions the trip, and then she talks about the trip with Bo, which then sends Nancy kind of asks her a bunch of questions, and Nancy tells Amanda, Gus, that it's going to be probably 2 months, and you could just see the devastation.
You really could.
Face.
I mean, Gus, she's kind of like, well, how long is he taking? Sounds like a kidnapping,
I know,
or whatever,
so
which
funny.
is kind of funny because it's her way of trying to deal with the fact that she's really enjoyed her friendship growth with Nancy. She won't say it that way.
Right.
Instead, she kind of makes a joke when Nancy says, she's going to be gone
for 2 months.
For 2 months. I thought that's really telling too.
Yeah.
And then go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And then Gus admits to Nancy that Clayton is May's dad because that's part of the photo album.
Yes. Because she sees the two brothers, Frank Sr. and...
So was that his brother or a family member?
It might, because she said Franny boys. So,
well, he could have been a cousin.
Right. He could have been a cousin.
Yeah.
But and it was funny because Gus tells Nancy that they were dating, that he was his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And she said, if you were his girlfriend, then my mother was the Queen of England or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, because she didn't believe it at first. She's kind of like, yeah, right. She's, and then Gus is like, well, what would you have said if he would have been going out with a Franny's girl?
Right,
and Nancy's like, it wouldn't have been good.
Right.
It would not have gone well. So
Yeah,
I thought that
yeah.
that was, and then I think that's when Nancy.
Or a May girl. If a May girl was going out with a Franny boy.
Or Mimi, right.
Mimi.
Right. Mimi's
Mimi.
girl, May.
I'm getting my names all
We're
mixed
just
up.
making up names tonight. We don't know.
Yeah.
May, Mimi.
Mimi girl was going out with
a
a Franny boy.
Franny's boy. Yeah.
And she was
Franny
like,
boy.
it would not have been good.
It would not. No. And then I do think it's funny when Nancy's kind of like, so how is Clayton? Did he not age well? Did he not? She's just kind of asking him, is he, ugly? Did he grow into, and
Does he have hair like a chinchilla?
Gus is kind of like, no, he's even more handsome if that's possible.
I know.
She reluctantly admits it. So,
I mean,
yeah, and you can kind of tell the flame never really dies,
No,
right? Between
and
the
she
hasn't
still
died
has a thing
her,
for
so.
him. Aw.
Yeah. Oh.
That was a good
Yeah, so that was kind of a good
exchange with
between the two of them.
Yeah.
I really like that scene
Yeah.
of them. Although it was kind of, it was that scene, then some other scene, then back to them, then, we kind of put it all together, but
right.
it worked.
Yeah,
It worked, yeah. And then do you want to save the very last part?
Yeah, we'll save the
until
last
the
part.
end? Okay. So who do you want to go to next?
Well, let's go to when May meets Clayton.
Because I guess we kind of cover Nancy, except
Yeah.
there's a few more things thrown. When May meets Clayton.
Yeah.
All right, sure.
At Mimi's. Or was it Franny's? It was Franny's.
It was
wasn't
Franny's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have, May's working at Franny's and in comes Clayton. And
Right.
he kind of tries to introduce himself and finally gets the nerve to do it and says,
Well, he's so awkward at first.
Right.
He's like, hey.
because you never know
how
how
long have you been working
a
here?
kid's going to react.
Well,
right?
and he's nervous too.
Yeah.
Not just because of how she's going to react. He doesn't know. I think that was more about his awkward, he didn't, and maybe it was because he didn't know how she was going to react.
Well,
but-
no, because you don't
yeah.
know what Gus told them. And,
Yeah, that's true.
And it, because
True.
there are things in real life that,
Yeah.
things happen. But he introduces himself as, Clayton Briggs. And she's like, oh, and he says, your dad.
I'm your daddy.
I'm your daddy.
I'm your daddy.
And the look on her face was like, what?
I mean, I thought it was interesting the way they played that out because he's seeing her for the first time as an adult, right?
Right.
Because he admits the last time he saw her, she was 2.
Mhm.
That's later in
Right.
the episode. But I don't know. It was just, I like that they made him a nice guy so far. I mean, we don't
Yes.
know his history.
Nope.
But I sort of like that, it seems like he is nice. It seems like he is genuinely trying to get to know her. Now, whether that's a ruse for something else down the road, we don't know.
I hope not. That was our
But
dog.
she
She dropped
a
a
toy.
bone or something.
She dropped a toy.
Crazy girl.
It sounded like
That thump.
a thump. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think he's a good guy.
Yeah, I mean,
have to
it
believe he
seems
is.
that way. It seems that way. And I like, the narrator's like, May didn't know what it felt like to win the lottery. But she felt like she hit the jackpot because she's just been so desperate to find out who her dad is and find out things about him and his family because she knows nothing. And especially now that she's getting married, she wants that connection. So that was pretty cool. And then I love when she finds out that he calls her Gussie. He
Yeah.
refers to her mom, and she's like, Gussie? And he goes, yeah, because she used to get gussed up. And she's like, what? What do you mean? And it's so foreign to
Yeah.
kids sometimes, to think their parents were
He's like, she's
different than what they know.
Mhm.
They can't picture him as young. And of course, Gus, you can't, she's so, overalls and
Right.
doesn't care about getting dressed up and doesn't
Nope.
give a hoot about anything fancy, and so she's just totally flabbergasted by that, which I thought was kind of cute.
It was cute. I liked her. But then let's move on to and the funny thing is their mannerisms. They both had the
same
the
manner.
laugh.
They made yeah.
Right. And she was just so in awe of her dad.
Yeah.
And
That
I
was pretty
thought
cute.
that was, and the hug she gave him in the end.
Yes, at the end
when he
she's
was
just
leaving.
squeezing him, and that was pretty cute. Yeah.
It was.
Yep.
It was heartfelt.
It was heartfelt.
So,
Should
Let's talk about Nancy and the pastor.
Nancy and the pastor.
Interesting couple, right?
Right. So the pastor has plane tickets for him and Nancy to go do this. I want to say charity, but that's not the right.
Right. I can't.
What's the word? What's the word we're looking for? Where you go on like a mission kind of thing.
Yeah, and you help build houses.
But we don't know where.
Right. We don't know
where it's going to be. And you can kind of tell Nancy's sort of like, okay, that's great. I really want to go. And this is the episode where you see her kind of struggle with, she always wanted to get out. She wanted to go places, but she was sort of held back by her husband, by choice somewhat. But, you can, see the dilemma. She wants to go, but she doesn't want to go. She's nervous about it. And so you can't really tell where she is in her headspace.
Right. I mean, she's the type of lady that she's loyal, but, she wants kind of her freedom.
Yes.
And
for sure.
when her and the pastor were having dinner, she's kind of nervous about the trip. And he tells her, well, you're there to do support for me.
And
I was like, oh my God.
Okay,
so here we go.
Yeah. that was.
And he's like, and be your charming self.
Yeah.
And, she is his secret weapons.
Yeah.
I was like.
And I almost think, I wonder too, though, if he meant it like to ease her nerves. Like if he felt like she was nervous, like, hey, you don't have to worry about anything.
Right.
You just kind of go to support, so I don't know if he really meant it.
Right. I'll do all the talking.
I don't know.
You can just lay back.
Yeah. Like if you're nervous, don't worry about it.
Well, she does come off as being shy and nervous. But,
right. But then she says, I want to be useful. I want to make a difference.
Right.
Like, I don't want to just go and be because that kind of triggered for her, it seemed like Frank Sr.
Right.
Probably things that he held her back from doing and was just kind of like, be in the shadows. You don't make any decisions, spoke when spoken to kind of thought process. But, I hope the pastor didn't really mean it that way, but maybe he did.
Yeah, I was kind of taken aback about it. I was like,
I know. I was a little surprised when he said, all you got to do is support me. And I was like, okay.
But that sends Nancy into her rant in the railroad arm and the mayor.
Well, the mayor had apologized to her, which we had talked about during the review of the last episode. Because remember, I was like, God, he's so mean to her. Like,
you did. You picked that out.
Is there a background? Like, what's going on? So he comes up to her and he apologizes. And it's just like, sometimes I just get tired of dealing with people. And she's like, isn't that your job as the mayor? Which I thought was funny.
I mean, come on.
And then he says if she can get signature, if she can get a petition of 300 signatures, then maybe they can
do something,
get it fixed or whatever. So then
she
at
goes
the dinner with the pastor.
She tells him, this is my mission now, and you're going to be the first one to sign the petition.
Right.
So I thought that was good for her.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good. So I think she's going to have that as her mission. And I'm guessing she's not going to go on the trip with the pastor, but
we'll have to wait and see.
Because he's leaving pretty soon, right? Yeah. Like it seems like it's coming up.
Within the next episode or two.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. And then we have Frank Jr.
Frank Jr.
My man Frank that I love and hate.
I know. So he causes a scene at church.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like he's like, oh, look at all you people, whatever. He causes this big scene, which is really
won't you all get dressed up and go down to J.C. Penney's and take a photo?
Take a photo. Yeah, family photo.
I thought that was so funny.
And then we kind of, fast forward and he's in his restaurant. He's giving a speech to no one because he's still, one worker.
Was it Jeremiah or no?
Is that
Jethro?
Is that the name of the? Oh, okay.
Yes,
that's the name
Jethro.
Of the co-worker or whatever.
The only worker.
But what's interesting is he kind of comes to a realization too that, the frozen chicken isn't good.
Nope, it's not going to sell.
They need the fresh stuff.
Sauce or no sauce.
Because he has eaten the chicken his mom has brought to him as an apology, even though he didn't accept the apology, but he took the chicken.
Right.
Right, which is their recipe, their family recipe. Which, can we talk about that for a minute?
Yes.
There was a point where May said, when Clayton first comes into the restaurant and she's talking before she knows it's her dad, and she's talking about the chicken recipes, and she's like, well, it used to be Mimi's and Franny's, and they did their own thing, but it was the same recipe.
Right.
And I was like, I never thought about that.
Nope.
because Mimi and Franny were together and then they split up and they still each use the same recipe, but people would choose one restaurant over another, but it's the same recipe for the chicken.
Yeah.
I just caught that this time. I was like, oh my gosh.
That was a good one, right?
Boy, am I dumb. I never even thought about that. Like, duh.
No, you're good.
So, no.
Yeah, but it was funny.
Over my head. So, anywho, all right, getting back to Frank Jr.
So he tries to convince Christian, Mr. Chicken. That he gives him his mom's chicken, which is a day old, and he bites into it. And you can see that Christian likes the taste of the chicken, but he's not in it for that. He's in it to save money and make money.
Well, did you say Frankie's made it? He didn't use the frozen chicken. Mm-hmm. He didn't use the sauces.
Right.
He didn't use any of their ingredients. He used all fresh and what he knows.
Right. Well, that's what he did afterwards.
After. Oh, you're right.
He gave him his mom's day old chicken. He loved it, but said, nope, you signed the franchise agreement and we're sticking with that. And then later on, Frankie decides, you know what? I'm going to make my own.
Yeah.
And that's when he goes into, his own recipe, throws away all the frozen and the sauces and all that, and he makes his own chicken.
Well, and you kind of think, finally, he's doing something. He's standing up for himself. He's, he's not being a total ass, in this moment. I mean, it'll come back. He was at the beginning. And that's when I had to look up the song Bad Man by Zach Bryan. That was the song that played during that. I thought that was cool.
It was
the music's
very
good
fitting,
this
very
year.
fitting for that scene.
This year. I said this season.
So it's going to be interesting how he pulls that off with Kristen.
Christian? Yeah.
I'll call him Mr. Chicken.
You call him whatever you want.
That name gets me all the time.
People.
I know. I'm just naming people whatever I feel like it.
Right. So he's come to that. Yeah. That was sort of his arc in this episode. Yeah.
So let's move on to Amanda.
Ooh.
And Eddie.
Amanda. So she goes out on her practice date with Eddie. Well, first she's getting ready. She gets ready and
Frankie comes in.
She makes sure Frankie's okay with it, and Frankie helps her get dressed. Yep. And so then she goes on this date, and all she can do is talk about Frankie.
Yes, her little baby.
Yeah. And things she did. And Eddie just wants to leave. Yeah. He doesn't want to be there because she doesn't let him get a word in.
No. And he gets that little, what is it, a buzzer or a vibration on his phone. Right. And he's like, "Oh, what, Captain? We got an emergency?"
Yeah. And it's funny because he's been wanting to go out with her, and then he was like, "Bye."
Yeah, he's having nothing to do with it.
So
what did he say when he left? He's like, "Give me fist bump," and then he's like, "Send me a Venmo."
Send me a Venmo, which I didn't like. I don't know.
Did he buy her a drink?
Did he mean send him the Venmo to pay for it? Like, you know how you send the QR code or whatever to people? I have no idea. Yeah. I don't know.
But then
I wasn't sure what he meant by that.
No, I know.
I mean, we know what Venmo is, but we just weren't sure.
What it means.
The way he phrased it was kind of weird. So
yeah.
Yeah. So then she, of course, is sitting there. He leaves. And then who walks in?
My man.
Sergio.
Yes.
Rico Suave.
Yes, he was.
Walks into the bar. A man walks into the bar.
And that was such a great scene. Because she was like, and the way he was talking about, I'm here to get my food, but if I don't leave, it's going to get cold. And, he just is kind of rambling. And she's like, "Won't you have a seat? I'll buy you a drink." Mm-hmm. And that was so cute.
Yeah, and the way they look at each other, and you can tell there's spark there.
And the stories they told each other.
And then they just have a casual conversation. And I like when the bartender / waitress brings them dessert. Mm-hmm. And she's just like, "I saw you guys on that TV show and thought you needed something sweet," or something like that. And it was so nice. And they were both kind of like, "Oh."
Yeah. And then as they leave, you think they're going to kiss each other, but they hug each other and then they go their separate ways. And that's when the narrator kicks in and talks about things. And
it's like they have they say goodnight, they almost kiss, but they hug.
Yes.
And then they kind of, when they're pulling apart, they almost kiss again, but then they do part ways. And the narrator says, "Nothing like a scrimmage to get you ready for the real game."
I know.
And I'm like, okay.
Hallmark, so is she talking about, Was she talking about Eddie was the
real
scrimmage?
game? Okay. Well, I don't know. I don't know if he was even the scrimmage, but
We forgot about
Maybe.
the nicknames that.
well, yeah.
Because Sergio had asked why Eddie is called Fast Eddie, and she tells him that he was slow and never finished a race, and hers
But
was
like a
Booger.
32-minute.
Yeah,
What was it? 32
but like a 3-mile thing. Or something. Yeah, he did like a 30-something minute mile. Yeah.
yeah.
I thought that was cute.
Yeah, that was funny. And then he didn't know her nickname.
Right.
So then she tells him.
Yeah. But she never did say why she got it or how she got it.
What's her nickname?
Booger.
Booger. Yeah.
Booger.
But she doesn't say. Yeah. She doesn't give the story
explain where it
behind
came from or why.
Or they cut it out. We don't know.
Or maybe it'll be in
it was-
the next episode.
Maybe.
All right.
Maybe that'll come back. I don't know. So yeah, so then they part ways, but they're both kind of smiling. You can tell they're kind of flirting. You can tell there's still a spark there.
Mhm.
And now
Obviously.
she's separated, not divorced yet, but she is separated now from Frank Jr. So
And then we have Frankie and Lindsay.
Frankie and Lindsay.
And I thought it was pretty cool because they were in Lindsay's room and she showed, or they were in Frankie's room and she was showing Lindsay her mom's what she did with her mom's drawings of the chicken.
Yes,
she put them on social media.
She put them on social media.
And she was
put
like,
Amanda's
"Oh,
chicken
you're her
drawings.
little influencer," and she
Yep.
was like, "Yes." And then,
But Amanda doesn't know.
no, Amanda
which
doesn't
I think is
know.
going to come back at some point.
Yeah, and hopefully it's a good point.
I hope so, but
Yeah.
we don't know.
No, we do not. And then they have their little conversation, and Frankie kind of talks about Dudley, how they haven't kissed yet. And then Lindsay's like, "Oh, we're going to have to get you kissed."
Yeah.
So they go over to
Lindsay's very
Dudley's house.
progressive.
Yes, she is. Well, she's from New
She's
York,
from New
you know.
York,
Hey.
right?
And so they
big
go to
city.
Dudley's house, and she rings the doorbell, and Lindsay runs off the porch and goes and hides, and Dudley comes out, and Frankie's all like, we need to kiss. We've dated a long time, and blah blah blah. And he just kind of pulls her in and kisses her, and she was like, "Oh, okay."
It's kind of cool, yeah, because she's like, "What's it? How do you know when you want to kiss somebody, right?"
Yes.
And so that was kind of cute. But does she still have a thing for Lindsay? Is the question.
That's what we're gonna find out.
And Lindsay kind of lightened up too. I guess she's just going with the fact that Frankie has a boyfriend because she was upset about it in the last episode,
Right.
and even at the beginning of this one.
Yeah.
So now, I guess we're going to see where that goes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So then we get towards the end, and we'll go back to May and Amanda. Right? May goes to see Gus.
Yes.
And thanks her for calling Clayton. And Gus is like, "Well, you're getting married. You should be able to have whoever you want there. But you know it's killing Gus." And then May goes to hug Gus, and you can just see she's like, "Okay," like she's not a hugger, but she loves it. She wasn't expecting it.
You can see the look on her face.
So that
she
was
kind of
pretty...
melted. Some of that wall kind of crumbled.
Yeah. Because May's like, "Thank you."
Yeah. Because she's like, "Do you mind if he comes?" Or says something like that. And she's like, "Let's change the subject."
Right. And I love when the narrator said, looks like May's going to have to pick a new hobby since resetting her mama from keeping her daddy from her. It has been taken off the list. That was when she was talking to her dad. I thought that was really funny.
That was really funny.
That was a really funny one.
I really enjoyed that one.
And then you have the last scene where Clayton goes to Gus.
Mm-hmm.
Gus, I would say Gus's house. I guess it's Nancy's house.
Right.
But Clayton goes to the house and he apologizes.
Oh my gosh.
And she just can't even really speak.
Right.
Like she's so taken aback by the apology. And she's like, you could have called. And he's like, "I tried to call, but your phone was disconnected."
Right.
And these are the days before cell phones, people. So, you couldn't just call somebody. They had to, have a phone and have it connected and, in their house.
Mm-hmm.
And they had to be home to get the call.
And it was interesting. They had mentioned that in the first season. Remember, May had talked about that to Amanda when they were playing hide go seek and how things were shut off and the phone was disconnected. And this,
kind of came back to
came back.
That, and you realize he was right?
Right.
And then he admits that he did come back for them, and he saw her. May was about 2, but she was pregnant, and she was with Amanda's daddy.
Right.
Who we don't know who that is.
We have no idea.
So he thought she was happy, because here she is with another man. She's pregnant again, so he doesn't want to interfere. And I loved when he told the story about May and how they were getting ready to cross the street and she was holding Gus's hand and May didn't look both ways. She was just looking at her mom.
Right.
And he's like, what did he say? You're all she ever needed or something. Yeah.
How can you hate this guy?
I know.
And now I'm like, I don't even know what to think about
But
him.
it's like, we always talk about that. You feel like, it's never too late. You can always go back and everything. And I mean, true. I mean, he missed her and he says it's the biggest regret of his life, right? Not going back, not seeing May grow up and everything. And but you think you just sort of get stuck. You're like, no, I don't want to interrupt. No. And you can see, and you know how quickly time passes.
Right.
And before you know it, she's an adult. And I mean, yeah, should he have still tried to contact her? But, originally he was a kid too.
Yeah.
She was 18. He was going to college and his parents forced him away. And then he said they sent him even further away so he wouldn't come back to her. And, so I don't know. Does it excuse it? No, but
it's never too
when you
late
get
to
older, you
apologize,
realize how fast time goes and then you get stuck and, he tried and then he didn't try again. So I don't know. Yeah. And you can see that Gus is very deeply affected by his apology. He apologizes a couple times during that.
And then he's like, well, I can't remember the word he used, rambling or whatever.
Yeah, he says something like that.
And he leaves and Gus closes the door and Nancy comes down the stairs and asks if she's okay.
And she's like,
oh my God, I love this man again. It seems like that's what the look on her face, right?
I just hope he ends up being the nice guy that he comes across as. Yeah. Even though I guess you could argue he didn't come back, to meet or know his kids. So is he a nice guy? I hope he's
just not apologizing to apologize.
Or because May was famous, on TV.
There's that too.
So we'll find out.
Yeah. So is that a wrap? Or how many drumsticks would you give this one?
I would probably give this one 3.5. What about you?
I was going to do 3 3/4.
3 3/4. Yes. Okay, not 3.5.
Yes. Quarters.
Quarters. Okay, 3 3/4. Get it? Quarter.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
All
right, cool.
So is that a wrap?
That's a wrap.
Well, if you really, really like the show, we would really, really appreciate your positive review on Apple Podcast or Spotify. And if you didn't really, really like the show, we'd still appreciate your positive overview.
Or review. I think you need to drink some wine. You need to get off of this podcast. You need to drink some wine and just chill and get your words straight.
Your positive review.
Follow us wherever you get your podcasts and on social media so you don't miss a thing. Until next time.
Cheers.